Right boys, I'm back with another video. This time it's my new 1/5 scale. It's a 30 degree north DTT purchased from RC Models for 700 quid. The plan was to do a video last week with it all assembled and brand new out the box. But this currently has no engine and no exhaust pipe. The radio tray's half hanging out. That's because it was always bought with the intention to make it my own, and that process has already started. So how does it compare to the X2? Well, it's better in every way. Two versions of the X2 currently available. You got one for 650, which is the bare bones basic, and then you got the deluxe. Deluxe version has a lot of alloy, but it still doesn't fix the X2's issues. So, X2's issues, diffs. I've been told they've been fixed, but I've still seen people on Facebook, complaining of blown diffs on the X2. So, they're either old stock or the issue hasn't been fixed. This truck shouldn't have diff issues. On the X2, there was always two options to fix the diffs. Number one, and the option that I went with, which was fitting genuine Lousy 5 internals, or the second option was to fit 30 degree north DTT diff internals, which is this comes with anyway. A few other X2 problems: servos, they were good, they were strong, but they didn't really like a LiPo. If you put them on 2S, it massively shortened the life of them. This out of the box comes with K-Power, which they look identical to X2 servos, apart from the black. But I've been told that internally and component-wise, they use much higher quality components, which is why they're much more reliable. There's also a few guys that I know that go up to track, and they're saying on track abuse, the K-Power servos are holding up just fine, which is a good sign. All the little niggly issues on the X2, shock towers, they were awful, they were made of cheese. They're much stronger on this. They're made from 775 alloy, which is what the Lousy 5 uses. Engine's better. I don't have it in now because I've sold it. But on the engine itself, there was no ventilation holes in the pull starter. And the fins on the crankcase that you normally mesh mod, there were a lot more of them and a lot more compact. So you didn't really have to mesh mod the engine in this. Setup's different as well. The X2's got quite a saggy rear end. The shock oils and the shock setup's a bit poor. They've revised it on this, and it's set up a lot better out of the box now. It doesn't sag, and it sits a lot nicer as well with all the weight in it. Body shell's a huge one. I don't mind the X2 shell, but the black and white and the white and blue, they're boring. If there's one thing I'll say about a Lousy 5, it is one of the best looking out of the box RCs you can buy with a silver and orange. The X2 shell's just horrible. It's dull and rubbish. This one looks a lot better. And you also get the 12-month 3-panel replacement plan. So if you break a panel, you tear it, you split it. If it's within 12 months and you're the original buyer, they'll change it out up to 3 times. They won't cover the cost of any wraps or stickers though, so bear that in mind. I had one of these on the X2 in the end, and apart from scuffing it up from rolling, I never actually tore it, which is a good sign. Plastics on this are a lot better. You can generally tell when plastics are cheap, just by looking and the feel of them. These look and feel much better. They seem to have, rather than spent the money on bling like KM have done with the deluxe model, they seem to have spent the money improving it and fixing the issues the X2 has, which for a buyer is the best way to spend the money. Fix the little niggly things and let somebody upgrade it as they want to. So engine again, I can't run the engine, so I can't test it, but there's quite a few people on Facebook, me as well, because I suffer from this. They keep blowing the needle bearings that hold the piston pin in place. It's not just to the X2 either. It's there's even Baja engines have been blowing these bearings. My X2 blew it after, I think, 5 tanks. You know, this engine, although I couldn't test it, I was hoping it felt and looked like it was a much higher quality unit, so I'm hoping that the bearings will be better as well. What else happened on my X2? Pull starter broke. I think I only started it 3 times. When that one broke, it just completely disintegrated. The clutch, the compound on the clutch fell off. It wasn't glued properly. But again, taking this one apart, the clutch even looked better. So I think, you know, when you weigh up the price difference, you know, of 50 quid between this and the basic X2 model, this is easily worth the extra money. You know, if for argument's sake the diffs in the X2 haven't been fixed, if you go with the cheapest option to fix the diffs, 20 quid per diff, you know, you're 10 quid out of what this costs already. And it's the same with the Deluxe. The Deluxe has a lot of bling, but still has the servos, you know, which don't like lipos. Still has shock toes that are made of cheese. No, sorry, I take that back. It does have upgraded shock toes. I think and braces and top plates and things. But even the diffs, you know, you've still got a KM engine in there. But one of the things I prefer on the X2 to this is the exhaust pipe. So I'll take it off, I'll show you the pipe this one comes with. So, this is the pipe you come with this. It's well made, the weld is nice, but it does the 2 things I don't like in an exhaust. One, there's no flex on the header, so there's no give. And 2, it mounts to the engine, which, you know, I don't like that. I prefer, you know, a header with a bit of flex and a bit of give in it, and the exhaust that mounts to the chassis. You know, that stinker to me also looks way too wide to get any decent back pressure. So yeah, I'm a bit suspicious of that, to be honest. It might be better suited to the bigger engines. So let's take this off real quick. So I've changed shock towers already. You know, and the front brace and they've not got this in stock in area I'll see at the minute. The plan is to do a black and silver build. So all this has been anodised and all the red bits. This will either be covered up or changed. They'll be anodised black. These will be changed for black. Even these will be changed. But steering servo has been chopped out. I was doing a bit of measuring because I'm going to put a town goer servo in it like I had on the X2. Is this bad boy? It's ready for powder coating now. Again, I'm thinking black base, possibly a silver top. But if you want to know how big this is compared to a normal servo, there we go. So this is a low C S900S. This is the steering servo. I think they give them the low C5. This is at the DBXL. So there's the town goer. There's a size difference. Yeah, the town goer servo is monstrous. So that's going in. But, you know, looking at it, you'd think it was an X2 if it wasn't for the odd little 33 North logo and the odd little changes. You know, you'd swear blind it was an X2. But it's only when you get closer that you notice little things like you can see the chassis just by looking at it. You know, how much higher quality the metal is and the machine work is. The shocks have these little plastic spacers on them. The X2 didn't have, well, my X2 didn't have these anyway. I've not seen an X2 with them. And what that does is it stops the top cap rubbing on this nut here and wearing away at the alloy. It's a stupid little thing, but it's all the little details that count. You know, it's plastics have got more of a matte finish on them. They just look and feel a lot nicer than the X2 ones did. But saying that, I never actually broke an X2 arm or a hub. So I think at the minute, you know, this is potentially the best value 4-wheel drive 5th scale you can currently buy in the UK. And this model is exclusive to the UK as well. This, is an RC Models spec. So what I mean by that is RC Models have been speaking to 30 Degree North, and they've pretty much told them what they want on the buggy and how they want it building. For example, Mark, the Hoss Sanders at RC Models, says they have a company make this for them, ship this to 30 Degree North, and 30 Degree North fit this to their truck. So that's how kind of custom spec this thing is. They do offer it, bloody hell, I think black, white, blue, orange, red. I think there's quite a few colour options they offer on the shell. Tyres are a lot better as well. The X2 tyres, they're soft and, well, I'm sure they're kind of good if you live in a hot country where everything's dry, but here in the UK when we get a bit of rain, they're absolutely crap on grass, whereas these, I'm at least hopeful should be better. They do feel a lot stronger. And I'm pretty sure they're taller as well. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm sure the X2s are only 170, 175. I'm sure these are a little bit bigger. I have got a few things to check for the base of comparison as well. So this little hex that goes in here. Losi 5 hex is 18mm, X2 one is 19. So when you buy the aluminium dual arm, so you can run push pull on your steering, they won't actually fit the X2 out the box. You've either got to grind it down 1mm, buy the Losi 5 version. So I've got to measure that and just find out what that is. Same with the engine spacers for the gear mesh. Those are one of the very few Losi 5 parts that don't actually fit the X2. So I'm kind of hoping that because they've upgraded the chassis and the machine works better, it will actually accept Losi 5 engine spacers as well. Another thing, this doesn't come assembled. The X2, when you take it, at least my X2 did, I'm pretty sure the new ones do as well, but they come assembled out the box. It's nothing major, you just got to put the wheels and tyres on and assemble the cage, because none of the body panels are on the cage out the box. But that's because they offer it so many different colour options. They receive the trucks separately, and then when you pick your colour option on the website, they just put whatever colour panels you've picked. So this is it. This will be the last time you'll see it looking like this, as next time it should, in theory, be black and silver, and it'll either be brushless or two-stroke. So that'll be a bit of a surprise. So if there is any questions, or you are looking at one of these or the X2, ask away, but instantly get this instead. It's worth the money. So I'll catch you on the next one.